creative friends, welcome back to Kelly Does Stuff. Today we're going to create some St. Patrick's Day gnomes. Now create is definitely a stretch because the gnomes are already created. I got 2 gnomes in a package at Michael's and I wanted to make them St. Patty's Day themed because I'm working on a St. Patty's Day village vignette display. So really we're just painting. Very simple, quick, easy craft. And if you want to up it just a little bit, you'll do one extra little step. So let's create some gnomes.
When painting little figurines, I have found that a multi-surface paint goes on a little bit better than just like a straight acrylic paint. It's a little bit smoother. I like the finish a little bit better. I do end up doing several coats of each of the colors that I use, letting it completely dry before going in with the next coat. If it's not totally dry and you just kind of keep applying more layers of paint, it actually just kind of like wipes the paint off. Now, I didn't do any sort of sanding or prepping to my figurine. Maybe if I had, the paint would go on even better. I just kind of wanted to do this as quickly and as easily as possible. So I just went straight in with the paint. Now this little guy was holding a sunflower and I thought about maybe putting some clay on it to turn it into like a clover, but then ultimately I was like, nope, let's just keep it simple, and I just used a different shade of green and painted over the flower, and it looked close enough for my purposes. I didn't have any of that multi-surface paint in the orange for their beard, so I just used this metallic acrylic, and I definitely had to go in and do several layers, letting each one dry in order to get the finish and look that I wanted. Now, if all you want to do is paint these guys, then congratulations, your St. Patty's Day gnomes are complete once you do all of the layers that you want to give it the finish that you want. Now, I did mention that I am working on a St. Patty's Day display, and so I wanted to change out the welcome sign of our one little gnome to a green beer sign because I'm going to put this gnome outside of my Irish pub. And I'm just using a scrap piece of that XPS foam and a pen to just draw in those letters. That's really creating just the impression in the foam. I've talked about this foam a lot where it will just take the impression of whatever you're going to put on it. And then I'm just going to scruff up the sign a little bit to give it some texture to look like it's a wood sign, making the edges a little rough, and then just drawing or scraping up the grains of wood there on my sign. And I'm using black paint for the base color of my sign, let it completely dry, and then I'm going to use gold and a dry brushing technique, a little bit of paint on the brush, get most of it off, and I'm just going to scrape over the surface of the sign there really quickly, lightly, and it will turn our sign gold, but then our letters will pop. To attach the sign, I'm applying the hot glue directly to my figurine. My hot glue gun was on the high setting and it will eat through foam, especially since my sign was really thin. So I apply it to the figurine and let it just kind of cool down for a couple of seconds before I put my sign on my gnome. Okay, now I can add my gnome to my display. This is just part of what my St. Patty's little display is going to be. I will have more videos on that coming up, but here we have it. They're so cute. Let me know if you guys paint these gnomes or do any other types of adjustments or additions to them. And I'm just now noticing that I forgot to paint his little bell. Definitely will have to go back and do that. Thanks for watching, you guys. I look forward to seeing you next time, and happy creating!